out there. Here we are in Louisville, Kentucky. We're going to try to do some sessions here that will kind of explain some things about my life and about our book. But the best one to explain that is my lovely bride here, Laura Richards. Yeah.
Thank you. Turley wrote a book about his memoirs and all his crazy times in the music business, and also goes back to the time when he lost the sight in one eye due to a bow and arrow accident that happened when he was only 4.5 years old, and some of the struggles that go through that. He was in the midst of writing this book when I reconnected with him, because I knew you a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he told me how that all came about. And I kind of, asked him, he sent me some of the chapters, and I took a look at it and kind of was just going to clean up a little bit of the grammar for him. And along the way, we ended up making a lot of changes.
Well, we should say that we had another writer that was writing with me, and he didn't have the right conception of memoirs. He was writing more like a screenplay, and it was all out of what's the word?
Out of order.
Yeah, out of order years-wise, chronological. And that's the first thing that she did. But when I had her. For those out there that don't know it, I'm blind, and I was listening on a computer voice the whole time I was listening. So I wasn't noticing that it just wasn't that good. And she read it out loud. Do you remember when I went, oh my God?
Yeah.
So we started.
And it wasn't because my reading was that bad.
So we started all over in a way. And we fixed up 18 chapters, and we did 9 or 10 more ourselves. And she did a great job. The editor at the publishing company actually only had to change a very few amount of things.
Well, we started over, and then we started over, and then we started over, and then we started over, because along the way, once I started reading it to him, I discovered that he really didn't like it. I mean, he really didn't like it. And during that time, some more time had passed, and so I got to know him better and learned that there had been so many times in the past where other record deals and things like that hadn't gone down the way he really wanted them to. And so I just thought, there's no way I'm going to let that happen again. And so we ended up redoing and redoing and redoing.
Well, I think also part of the problem is when this whole thing started back in 2010, 11, that agency kept saying, you don't lose your voice. You make sure whoever works, does the work with you, don't lose your voice. I truly didn't know what that meant, actually. Until I started realizing all the things this other guy wrote were nothing that I would ever say. And she really found that too, all these things that she couldn't picture me saying these things.
Oh, we're pretty funny.
Yeah.
We'll save those for later. How are you?
Yeah. So anyway, what we're doing here, we're going to hopefully do maybe 10 sessions, 10 minutes long, 11 minutes long, and put one out every week, every 10 days or something, just to kind of get you to know who we are and who I am as far as my career and what I'm going to do now. My goal is to get out on the lecture circuit and be able to talk about never quitting, never giving up. That's the key that we're trying to do. I hope to talk to a lot of corporations and the guys so they can know, no matter how hard things might be, if you keep pushing. As my mom always said, defeat is no option. Just keep on pushing. That's our goal here, and to get to know everybody.
And for them mostly to get to know you better.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the book called, Turley?
Blindsided.
Where can they get it?
Is she doing an interview here? I can't. You know the name
Where
of the
can we
book.
find your book?
Yeah, you can go to my website, turleyrichards.com, and all that info's on there. Plus, there's a lot of my albums from the past that you can download. One of the freaky artists in the business for years, I signed with 7 different record labels. So somebody thought I was good, but maybe I was bad at selling, but I was good at getting signed. But I had all these labels sign me through the years. I toured with, Moody Blues, Richie Havens, Joni Mitchell, Jethro Tull, Yeah, Paul Butterfield Blues Band. I did all that stuff. I did all the TV shows, Johnny Carson. As a matter of fact, you can find all that on YouTube, the Johnny Carson show, and it's on my site. Isn't it?
Yeah, the Johnny Carson clip is on the
So
website,
you can
yeah.
do that, and I'm all over YouTube. But and I did Mike Douglas and Merv Griffin and Dick Cavett, Dick Clark. I did the Dick Clark show. So I did a lot of stuff, and a lot of things should have happened, but when you read the book, you'll find out some of the just insane stuff that happens. Laura is a counselor. And I tell everybody, if you got a child or a friend that wants to be in the music business, read my book. And after reading it, you still want in this business, then make an appointment with Laura.
Yeah, we can't do that, though. That would be a dual relationship.
I know. But, trying to make people understand, don't get in this business unless you have absolutely thick skin. You can't have your feelings hurt because you get rejected all the time. On one hand, rejected, walk into another building, meet someone else, and they praise you like you're the coming of Jesus. And then months later, they'll reject you, and then you'll go find another one. And that's how it is in this business. It's insane.
But you've had some fun along the way, too.
I did. I had 2 babies on the way too. Well, I didn't have much. Now, I could have done that. I could have sold a lot of records. Anyway, I had a son, Adam, in 1977, and 1980, my daughter, Amber, who has since given me 2 grandchildren. Life has been wonderful. I mean, I went blind, shot with the arrow, as she mentioned, but I went blind in when I was, it was 69, 70, but I was about 28, 29 years old. And I was in the right city. I was in New York City, and that was the place I could hang on to my independence to the very end. And there's a story in there about me hailing cabs that you'll get a kick out of. My mom was my angel, my absolute angel. She taught me so much stuff about strength, to never give up. You never fail as long as you try. You only fail when you don't try. And I kept that going all the time. And thank God, let's be honest with you. What if I'd have been a plumber or an electrician and went blind? I'd have had a hell of a lot of problems. But the fact that I was in music, I was able to swing myself, keeping my lifestyle together, or my livelihood rather. But I had to deal with a lot of personal things. And I think I blocked a bunch of it out. And I block everything out with humor, of course.
Which we dragged back up writing this book.
Yeah, we did.
Some of it was pretty tough.
I had quite a few tears on things that happened, and learning things like at one point I was homeless. I never thought about that, but it turns out I was.
You got 2 minutes left.
All right. See, that's another thing, Laura's here. I do these on my own, but they last for, until the tape ran out. Well, there's no tape.
There's no tape. We
That
beat her
shows
a
you
long
my damn
time.
age, doesn't it? But she's here to let me know when we got so much time left. And in other words, she likes to control me. We just got
Aw.
married September 28th. She's my bride. Aren't you, honey?
I am.
We
think.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Licensing in
Little-
California
yeah.
is not as easy as one thinks. They looked up my record.
It was fun being
No.
on the beach, though.
They asked me if I had a record, and I said, well, heck, I had 5 albums. They meant a criminal
That's
record. Anyway, this is kind of an introduction. We're going to call it Sessions. This is session 1, and I'm hoping we'll keep it for your all's sake, no more than 10. But it is nice to visit with you, and it's going to be all over the YouTube. It's going to be on all the social medias, and we're hoping that it's something you guys will enjoy and to learn a little about me and my career. But be sure to go to the website, turleyrichards.com. We got some pictures right here of people that I was involved with on the road along the years. Joe Walsh and Mick Fleetwood was my manager in 1979-80. And all those we got a picture of Phil Keaggy and Jonathan Winters, who was my idol as a comedian. Although I worked with Richard Pryor a lot, and Richard was probably my tied for first idol of comedians. But that's all we're trying to do, and I have a clue what we're going to do on the next session, because I think we said it all. We'll probably brag on things.
I'm sure you'll find something to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about them. I hope this quality is good, and my wonderful
There's your harp
webmaster.
music.
There's the harp music. She was a harp player, so her phone has harp music. I want to Anyway, so I tell you what, it was so nice, and I'll finish this chorus out. It's so hard to make ends meet when you're begging